Speedbird 851, turn right heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
Hi everyone, I'm DJ's Aviation and I'd like to welcome you all to this video of mine. Today we discuss the possibility of Lufthansa expanding further into the Asian Pacific region. The Lufthansa Group are eyeing services into the Asian Pacific region as the demand for air travel grows specifically in that area. The expansion plans come as Lufthansa relaunched their route connecting Munich and Singapore under a joint venture with Singapore Airlines. The aircraft being used on this route is the A350-900 and will mean there will be 5 weekly flights connecting the two destinations. The relaunch is set to increase the group's capacity between the countries by around 40%. It's also worth mentioning the service was cancelled back in 2012 due to the high operating costs of the A340-300, which was the aircraft being used, and also the lack of profits that were gained on that route. This relaunch of the Munich to Singapore service signals the intent within Lufthansa to further take parts of the market in this region. The chief commercial officer for Lufthansa said through the restart of this service, passengers flying on the Lufthansa flight will be able to now connect to between 75 and 77 flights via Munich within 3 hours of their arrival from Singapore. While Lufthansa have already seen a 40% growth between the two countries, the carrier still aims to increase its capacity in Asia to 23% in this year alone. Austrian Airlines, who are also part of the Lufthansa Group, have plans to begin a Vienna to Tokyo route this year in May with the 777-200ER. It's worth mentioning that this service actually did exist, however it was also cancelled not that long ago. This relaunch by Austrian Airlines once again highlights how carriers from around the world are wanting to dive into this market and are often reaping the immediate rewards from doing so. Lufthansa's Vice President of Sales for Asia and Pacific told Flight Global, "We know there are slot restrictions at the major airports, but nonetheless we always aim at growing following from last year's strong numbers to Asia Pacific that justify adding more capacity." In terms of possible new destinations, China is coming out to be the strongest rumour, with Lufthansa eyeing a number of potential airports that are able to be on the carrier's watch list. The final thing I briefly wanted to mention is the joint venture, which involves Lufthansa and Singapore Airlines. I briefly brought this up earlier, but through this joint venture, Lufthansa has seen a 20% increase in capacity since the venture began in last October. It also means that there are 34,690 seats offered on 51 flights weekly. Finally, it has allowed Lufthansa to enter the Australian market with a code share with Singapore Airlines and Silk Air. That's going to conclude today's video. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, drop it a like as well. I hope to see you all in my next one.